Right, let's put this down here. Right, guys, so we have the Seven of Pentacles coming up for you guys. You guys have been putting in a lot of effort, ton of effort into something, right? We have a lot of Pentacles coming up here. Pentacles are to do with our stability, our security, you know, support, tangible representations of those things. Houses, money, work, sometimes even relationships, you know. The Ten of Pentacles, the ultimate, that's family, legacy. The house that we build for future generations. It's that kind of energy. So anything that represents security or stability for you in your life, I'm saying that now. So, you know, people start saying that, you know, oh, it's not about work or it's not about love. It's an energy, guys. Use it for whatever. If your relationship gives you that kind of stability, more power to you. But have a look. We have 4 pentacles. The 4 corners of this reading, they're all pentacles. Then you have this in the center. We'll get to that. So the Seven of Pentacles is someone, he's put in a lot of time and effort into some, you know, he's planted the seeds, he's watered them, he's waiting for them to grow. Now you're getting some results back from the work that you've done, but is it what you were expecting? Are you getting back what you expected? Are you getting back as much as you wanted? Did you plant an apple tree and you're getting oranges? You know, it's that kind of reevaluation takes place in the sevens. I always see the sevens as kind of reevaluation anyway. You know, because if you think about it, the Seven of Pentacles is that he's looking at the returns and seeing what's coming back to me. You know, the Seven of Swords, it's, are you willing to take the risk or not? Seven of Cups, what's your dream? What dream do you want to follow? So the seven's always when we reevaluate. Which one have I missed? The Seven of, it doesn't matter. We're on the Seven of Pentacles anyway. So, you know, what are you getting back? What are you getting back for the effort that you put in? So that's what this week feels like. What are the results? What is this enough? Is it time to reevaluate? This is a card of patience. It says, you know, to get the results that you want, you will get the rewards. You know, where are my rewards? That's this card. But it takes patience, which a lot of us are not good at. So we have that. Now we have the Emperor coming up at the heart of your reading. So for those of you that this is a work situation that this is talking about, the Emperor can be the boss. He's the boss. He's the father figure. He's the authority figure in the tarot. For some of you, you're being asked to step up and take control. The Emperor means, for me anyway, when he shows up in a reading, he's saying 2 things. 1, maybe you need to kind of be a little bit more flexible and not be too stubborn or too controlling. But if that's not the case for you, then it might be saying, no, you need to actually take, and I'd say from you more, it's about taking control of a situation, because we have this King coming up here in the present. So I feel like it is more taking control of a situation. Maybe you've been doing something alone, right? I'll tell you the main message that I'm getting just overall. This is, if I see it, I say it, right? So it's almost as if you've been working away at something on your own, you know, whether that's in the family, whether that's in a relationship, whether that's at work or a hobby or something, right? Whatever it is, painting the bloody house, whatever, you know, but you've been doing it alone. You've been doing it alone. Now, it's not telling you to give up control. It's not telling you to give up whatever the project is or the thing that you're working on. In fact, I think with the Emperor here, you know, well, for some of you, you might be too stubborn and saying, I'm going to do it alone. This is my baby. I'm going to do it alone, because this person's alone in the garden too. I know I'm kind of jumping ahead, guys, but just bear with me because this story came up strong. So somebody needs to hear it. But it kind of feels like, yeah, you know, you can get us to a certain place by yourself. You need help. You need help. Everything else that's coming in is saying, collaborate, compromise, delegate, get help. So whoever that applies to, that's your message. That's come through already. But I'll go through the cards like I normally do. So we have the Seven of Pentacles here, right? Yes. What am I getting back? Is it enough? Because you might want more, right? You might want it to come in faster, but there's only so much you can do by yourself. And so the Emperor is, are you being very stubborn about holding on to how much you get back, you know, how much work you put in or what you're doing? Or do you need to step up? Do you need to step up and take, okay, look, we need more people in this. We need to do blah, 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 whatever. The Emperor's at the heart of the reading. It's going to be different for each of you. Now, why is the Emperor there? Well, in the past, we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is it's a kind of independent, like someone who's very independent, very confident, but they can achieve a lot, right? So I don't know if you're going again at something, like this is another job, or you're starting a new project, or this is a new relationship. Actually, yeah, you know, because the Nine of Pentacles is someone who, this is usually the single person's card in the past. Done it alone and did a really good job, right? The foundation. And remember, the past can be last week, last month, last year. There's no limit on it. Did really well. Did really well. And remember, the card that comes before the Nine of Pentacles is the Eight of Pentacles, right? Which is the apprenticeship card. So in this card, that person's gained mastery. They were being the apprentice in the Eight of Pentacles. But, you know, and we've skipped one. We've gone 7 to 9. And this is, you've got mastery. You can tell she's got mastery over whatever she did because she's got a falcon or a bird of prey on her hand. You know, she's mastered that. That's what it indicates. Now, you might have all this beautiful kind of a gilded cage, your beautiful safe place, but it's a prison. It might be a beautiful prison, but it becomes a prison because it says you might be enjoying it. You know, it does say enjoy what you've done, but you're going bigger. And I think you did go bigger. I think that's the thing. You might have created something here. And whether it's your relationship, you guys were great. Wouldn't really see that dating, but I'm just going to say for some of you, the message does relate to your love lives. But then it's more about, this is not romance. We're talking building a home together, building a family together, the practical side of things. Do we have enough money for the mortgage? Are we saving up for the wedding? That kind of energy I'm getting. So if that doesn't apply to you, then this probably isn't a romantic reading for you. But I think you did. You decided, well, you know what? This was great. I created something wonderful here, but I want to go bigger. I want to go bigger. You know, there's a whole world to explore outside of this beautiful little garden that I've created. Great. And we have the King of Pentacles coming up in the present. Now, remember this, guys. This might be the energies of someone that you're dealing with. Someone who's central to your story, in which case you'll know who I'm talking about. This person is very much into their money, their financial security, work. You know, they have worked. They're the Nine of Pentacles. They've worked really hard for what they have. They've worked really hard for what they have. And the King of Pentacles, you know, he may be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone who has those kinds of energies, right? That like I just described, the signs don't own the cards. They just lend their characteristics. But it's almost as if no matter how much you've achieved, there's more. Who wants more? Because why would you be dissatisfied here? Why would you be thinking either you've tried to expand or however much you had, it's not enough now? Because here it was enough, remember? But now it's not enough. You could be dealing with someone who's very stubborn. I mean, you've got two very strong masculine energies here. And I say masculine, we all have the divine masculine and feminine within each of us. But what it's saying here is the King of Pentacles, he can get whatever he wants. You know, he's very good at creating abundance. He doesn't have to rely on anyone. He's very hardworking. He's reliable. He's dependable. He says he's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's a traditionalist. You know, he's that kind of a person that he supports his family. I always see the King and Queen of Pentacles as supporting the people that they love. Maybe that's why you need more, right? Because now it's not just you. Maybe you're having to support other people. And I'm saying that because you have to look at the kind of way the cards go. Why is there enough here in the past and now it's question marks over whether it's enough? That could be the father here coming up because the Emperor is the boss, the authority figure, right? Now, if this is an actual work situation for you, you might have been happy at your job. You were earning enough. It was great. You might have reached the position of the King of Pentacles. You know, you've maybe the height that you can go in that company. That's as far as you can go. Now you're thinking, well, I want to go bigger. I want more. I don't know if that's enough. Could be the case. Where does that lead? Well, we have the 10 of Wands coming up in the future. And I think the 10 of Wands is telling you, well, if you keep expanding, keep growing, because think about it, that's what it's looking like. If that's the underlying energy of the week, that is it enough? What am I doing? Even if you're going to be patient and wait for more to come in, you're still expanding, right? And the 10 of Wands says, well, if you keep going like this, you're going to get to a point where it's too much. It's too much for you. And I get it. You know, for a lot of you, whatever this refers to, it's the first time that you've had that kind of autonomy, that you've had that kind of control in the situation, that maybe you got to be the boss. Maybe it's your business, right? That you got to run it yourself, do what you wanted yourself, and it's given you that kind of level of stability. But it's growing. Whatever this is growing. And it's going to be too much for you. That's the 10 of Wands. It becomes too much. Now, this person's still willingly carrying the burden, but it is too much. We have that Emperor sat above this. And that would be either because he doesn't want to lose control. He's carrying the stuff himself. You know, he wants to stay in control. He wants to stay in charge. He doesn't want to relinquish control. Or, you know, he's just being stubborn. I don't want to ask anyone else. This is the way I've always done it. Look how successful I was in the past for myself. I don't need other people. The advice is the 3 of Pentacles, which says, yes, you do need other people. The 3 of Pentacles, it's a card that, you know, it talks about collaboration. And this deck, it's one guy by himself. But usually we see a group of people kind of, conflabbing, talking, comparing like maps and schematics and all kinds of stuff like that, like to see what are we doing here, and it's compromise and it's working together. You're being advised to compromise, which this guy does not do. So like I said, this is either you or it's someone else. If this is your work, you could be going toe to toe with your boss. Maybe you've reached a level of success and now all they keep doing is piling the work on. That happened to me. I come from a corporate background, and the better I got at my job, the more work I was doing. And I was like, hang on a second, how is that fair, right? So that's why you might be thinking, is this where I want to stay? Am I seeing the results that I want to see here? If this is a relationship reading for you, I kind of feel like that focus, I said that it's about building something together, because it's about the security. So I kind of get the sense it's going to be about a home or a family. You're trying to expand in that direction. You were single in the past. Now you might be connecting with the King of Pentacles, or you are the King of Pentacles. You are that way. You have a level of security, but it can be too much. The burden, this might be the burden on the relationship. Ones are passions, the energies that we put out. You're not going to have a lot of energy to put out if you're struggling under this burden. In which case, it's saying then that you need to put your heads together and plan for the future and think, what are we doing here? It's very telling to me that we go from a 9, excuse me, 9 of Pentacles up here to a 3 of Pentacles, which this is very much single energy by myself. I'm doing it by myself. This is working with other people. So there is some kind of compromise needed, and it's planning for the future together. You're going to get things done much faster together. What's that saying? Oh God, I used to say it all the time. I think it's something like, on your own, you go faster, but together you go further. And that's the kind of message that's coming up here in this. Yes. All right. So this obviously Whispers of Love is about relationships, all kinds of relationships, not just romantic, but it says spend some quality time together. It's imperative that we spend quality time with those we are in significant relationships with, listening and talking to each other. And that's what I'm kind of getting, that, there's too much work. I get it, especially if you're trying to save up for a wedding, you're saving up for a mortgage, or just money's tight in general, and you're picking up extra shifts and whatever. You still need to spend time together to connect with people, your loved ones, family, friends, your lover, whatever, because that's what this is indicating, because the future doesn't just happen, right? We get there and it's all going swimmingly, and then it's a burden. It's a burden, and it's almost this card sometimes advises that to delegate if you can, get as much help as you can, get some help to carry it, because it kind of feels like, and even at work, you could get someone else to take your workload, maybe not take up that shift, from just spend that evening with your girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife, right? Yeah, this though, Cancer. Come on, you got deep knowing. Deep knowing is like, it's like the High Priestess and the moon all rolled into one. Intuition. Trust your intuition on this. Because the future is a projection from the present, right? Nothing just happens. We can change that. That's the least interesting placement in a reading for me, the future, because what the hell? It's one future. Every future exists in potentiality right now. And you kind of know you can't sustain what it is that you're doing. Whether you're putting all the effort into a relationship, whether you're putting all the effort into the family or the job or whatever, it's not sustainable. And I think the deep knowing is saying your intuition's telling you this. You have a gut feeling like this, and to trust it, please trust it. All right. And it says, wow, it's a lot. It says, dear you, there is only one you, and you have a unique place in the universe. Sometimes situations come up that challenge you to be authentic. And that means you have to be fully yourself and let go of being what you think others may want. Now is not the time to conform to other people's standards or expectations. His maybe. Be proud of who you are and be courageous. Stand tall in your convictions. Being yourself is a powerful statement and will only lead you to success and ultimately happiness. Don't compare yourself to other people. Want what you have, choose what your heart wants, and know that your purpose is yours alone. No one else can claim your magic nor take it away. When you place authenticity and originality high on your list of priorities and give them a prominent place in your awareness, extraordinary things happen. Your life is a beautiful one. Love you always and forever. And a beautiful message. And so, some of you might be feeling compelled to put in this much work. But, in which case you're being asked to be the emperor. You either are standing up to someone like that, but even to stand up to the emperor, you have to be the emperor, right? To say, you back off. No, it's not your way. It's my way. My way or the highway. It's pretty amazing. Like, it's such a positive reading. It's too much of a good thing. That's what it feels like. Too much of a good thing, I'd say, because of this 10 of Wands coming up. But it all seems to be ticking on nicely. But just get the help, Cancer. Get the help that you need.